Hey there, welcome to another technically orientated episode of the Professional Plumber podcast. My name is Willem, I'm your host, and in this episode, I'm having a chat with two lady plumbers. And the burning question is, and I know that there's many people out there who are asking this question, can women do plumbing? Now, joining me for this conversation, I have Delinde Maselesele and Naya Sene.
Yes.
Both of you qualified, registered, and licensed plumbers. Ladies, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for your time and effort in joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Listen, it's going to make for a very interesting conversation today, because I know that question that everybody has burning here in their insides is, can women really do something as technical and as physically labor requirement or demanding as plumbing? And I've got quite a few questions for the two of you. But I think before we delve into the conversation and before we hear it from the horse's mouth themselves, let's just cross over to a quick ad break. For our listeners and our viewers, please do stay tuned. Please have a look and a listen to these advertisements because they are for your benefit. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Shifter? Ja, thank you. My bro, this CPD of this is a complete waste of my time. I know this thing very well. It's in my blood. I pride myself in this. I don't need help from a bunch of paper pushers while I'm doing the real work.
Are you someone who thinks, it can never happen to me? Are you someone who does not consider the long-term effects of not being willing to learn more?
CPD is not in place as a burden to the plumber, but rather as a mechanism to ensure that you remain up to date and current with new material, products, standards, and of course, ways of doing installation.
In addition, the CPD Rewards program's intent is to ensure that you receive great rewards while in pursuit of becoming a better version of you for the benefit of yourself and that of your customers.
So here's how it works. Depending on your level of tiers, whether you are blue, bronze, silver, gold, or diamond, you stand a chance in being rewarded with discounts on COCs, Proud Plumber t-shirts, your annual renewal, and of course, various other prizes.
Welcome back to this technically orientated episode of the Professional Plumber podcast with myself, Willem and Delinde Maselesele and Naya Sene, both qualified, professional, registered, and licensed plumbers. Ladies, the burning question here today is, can women do plumbing? That's what I want to know, and that's what the viewers and the listeners out there want to know. But before we get into that conversation, let's just introduce yourselves very quickly and very briefly to the audience, just so that they have kind of a slight background of who you are and where you come from and how you landed up in this position or this trade of plumbing. Delinde, if we can start with you, please.
Hi, my name is Delinde Maselesele. I'm from Limpopo. I got my diploma in 2021. I was doing civil engineering at Swanepoel College. Then after that, I got an internship at a construction company that I was working as an assistant plumber. For now, I'm currently unemployed.
Okay, right. Well, it's getting there. Don't worry about that fact. I think there's much scope and much jobs to fill, much holes to fill there out there in the industry. Naya, how about yourself?
My name is Neosine. That is my marital surname. My maiden surname that many people know me of is Miti.
Was it that you recently?
I'm recently married.
So because you just said many people know you as by your maiden surname.
Yes, true that. I did my N6. before any other thing. I am from a small village called Sheila at the Northwest Province.
Northwest. Okay.
I went to college at Dalezo TVET College. I did my N6 there and went up to N6. After that, I went to a training force where I did my apprenticeship for 3 years, where I became a qualified plumber. And then last year, I registered with the PIRB, whereby now I'm a licensed plumber.
Not only a qualified, but also a licensed.
Thank you.
Licensed plumber. Somebody who shows professionalism. Not that any other plumbers who are not registered don't show any professionalism, but you are now part of a professional body. Delinda, I like the fact that you said you're from Limpopo, because Limpopo is my home area. Ne? It's my province. That's where I hail from. Yeah, all the way. Viva, viva. Viva Limpopo.
I'm from
Twendo. Yeah, na kitso polokwane. All right. So here comes the first question that I have for the two of you. Now, plumbing is technical and it is complex, but also for the most part, it's male dominated. And I want to ask the two of you, what made you interested in something as technical as plumbing? I'm going to split that question into two, right? So I'm going to ask you firstly, it's a technical trade. It's something technical. You know, us boys, our fathers call us into the garage when he's fixing his car and he gives us a spanner and he says, hey, help me here, fix this, turn this bolt here and do this and do that with the spanner and the drill and the hammer and those kind of things. So as boys and as men, we grow up being exposed to technical stuff, like changing a plug on a home appliance or something like that. Whereas girls in general, are not as much exposed to the technical stuff as us boys. And then secondly, the second part of that question, why specifically plumbing? If you choose a technical career, why not welding or mechanic or boiler making or construction or something? Why specifically plumbing? Let's go. Let's hear it from you.
Why did I choose something that is technical? Growing up, as girls, we used to have mindset that this technical thing is for men. Male, I dominated on this thing. For me, I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to stand up as a woman to say, I can do this. I can also do this. If a guy can do it, what about me? I can do that also. As for me is. And for the interest, I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to get a job that I will work on challenges every day. The job that's going to create challenges every day. And why not welding or something? I felt like plumbing, we use water every day. I feel like plumbing is everyday life thing.
Yes.
So for me, I felt like I need to do plumbing.
It's something that makes a difference in society. It's something that makes a difference in people's lives.
Because we need water every day. Plumbing is water. We need that every day.
Plumbing is water. Plumbing is life. Water is life.
Water is life. So for me, I wanted to do something that I will live up to it to the life.
To make that impact and have that impact on civilization, society, and the people around you. It's quite an interesting answer. And Neo.
Something technical. Why that? For me, I've always been that kind of person who love handiwork. Growing up at home, they know. Like, I'd like to fix things. It has always been something like that for me. And I didn't see it as, one day I'll do plumbing. It's funny because as much as I loved handiwork and doing all of that, when I went to college, I never thought I would end up doing plumbing, to be honest. I never thought I would.
So that answers sort of, that steers into the second part of that question.
It just leads there. Because now, to the second part, I loved handiwork, but now when I go to the second part, why plumbing? When I went to college, I did bricklaying N2. I wanted to do bricklaying. It's so funny because now, from plumbing to bricklaying, both are civil engineering.
Yes.
So now I got the apprenticeship. The apprenticeship, I had to do bricklaying. Now they had registered me for plumbing. Then I was like, the only thing that I know about plumbing is toilets. Then, mind you, I'm from a small village. We know pit toilets. I am telling you, we use pit toilets. Now, when I think of plumbing, I'm thinking of toilets. But now I got to learn more about plumbing. I got to learn that it is not only about the toilets. It's not only about drainage system.
Yeah, and fixing pipes
And
together.
fixing
It's so
pipe.
much more complex.
I mean, like, it's more complex. I mean, like water, like she said, we need water. We use water every day. It took me back to, I want to see myself going back to my village and being able to give other people water, having to do such wonderful work for other people, giving back to the community. That is something that I always think of when I think of plumbing. I think of, I can always help. That is plumbing.
Interesting. One of the facts when we did research here is that, almost 3 billion, almost 4 billion people in this world, and remember there are only 7, almost 4 billion people in this world do not have access to proper potable water and proper sanitation, right?
True.
So interesting. So it's so cool to hear that you want to go back and give back, almost the same as Delinde said. You want to give back to society and see them have that human dignity to have proper potable water and sanitation. Delinde, I want to ask you quickly. You mentioned that you've got a diploma in civil and that you majored in plumbing. Now, I want to ask you about that technicality and the complexity of plumbing, because we did mention earlier that it is far more complex than just fitting pipes together. I mean, plumbing entails things like knowing what valve to use where. Not only knowing what a valve is, but knowing what job it does, what is its purpose, and which valves to use where. How does it work on the inside? Plumbers need to understand what materials to use where and why they need to use materials where. They need to do mathematical calculations like flow rates and pressure and those kind of things. So plumbing is complex. Was that complexity and that technicality thereof, was it a surprise to you? Or did you have some sort of expectation that it was more complex than what the average consumer out there knows and thinks?
For me, it was for surprise. Because I'm from college. College, we learn about the bookwork. We never learn about technical thing.
It's more the theoretical part that you learn about.
We did the theory part. So for me, it was a surprise. I was very surprised. It was very challenging for me to be installing something on site, doing something on site. So for me, it was very challenging and surprised. I can say that.
But you, on the other hand, you did answer that the reason why you went for a technical job in the first place, or a technical trade, was that you wanted to challenge yourself. You wanted to stand up as a lady and say that we can also do this. We can also achieve this. We can also have that grasp and understand the concepts of these technical aspects and of plumbing and different skilled trades. So now, it comes out now. The truth comes out. It was a challenge for you. You did.
For me, first time it was challenge. First time it was something that I never expect. Whenever I knock off, I was like, I'm tired. But I have to wake up every day and challenge myself that I can do this. I'm able to do this. Because from college to working on site, installation of the pipes, everything, chiseling, carrying out the pipes, it was very challenging. It was very challenging, I won't lie. But yes.
But you managed to learn.
But
I managed to now successfully achieve that grasp and that understanding.
Yes,
of the
I wanted
technicality.
to grow up in the mindset that I can do that. And I did that. I believe that I did that.
Neo, I want to ask you quickly. Earlier, you mentioned that you're a foreman at your company, which means that you take on, the role of, at least to some extent, the part of a leader or somebody that leads and directs to other people, and that may also include men. Now, we are approaching a quick ad break, but just before we get to the ad break, I want to ask you quickly, is this something that is a challenge for ladies and for women in plumbing? Is this something that are the men generally accepting of you as a woman? And not only that, do they think that you can grasp, like Delinda said, that the technicality and the complexity of this trade of theirs, which they for so long have dominated as males? Do they see you as a leader and respect you as a leader? Are they accepting to you as a leader? Do they think that you can perform the physical work? Do the men see that and do they believe that? What is your experience? Is it a challenge for women? And is that thing a challenge?
Definitely. Definitely. It is a challenge.
Without hesitation.
Without hesitation. It is a challenge. And because now you have to remember that, like you said, it's a male-dominated industry. So now it's like majority of the men that you are leading, I think they are intimidated by me at times, because now me as a woman, I'm there and now I have to tell you what to do as a man. And believe you me, I'm talking about grown-up men. I'm not just talking about youngster like me. I'm talking about people who have been in this industry for a long time, even though they do not have such papers, but they have experience. They have been in this industry. And yet again, like she said, I always have to challenge myself. And yet again, for them to respect me, I believe that I have to give it before any other thing, you know, because I can't expect them to respect me, though I do not respect them first, you know. But yet again, it is quite a challenge. I won't lie. I won't lie.
You know, they always say that respect is only effective when it is mutual. When you give respect and you show respect, you 99% of the time receive that back.
True that.
But respect is also something that is earned. And surely you must earn that respect from the people that you lead. Or even if they're just your colleagues and you don't necessarily lead them as a foreman, you need to earn their respect by showing them and proving to them that you do have the knowledge, that you do have the physical capability that they do in some regard, at least, because I'm getting to that question a bit later on, but that is so.
Yeah, so it's like that. And mind you, I'm this short. I'm I'm like this. Every time when I get to meetings, I find big men, like, they look, oh my goodness. It is always fascinating. And then every time when they look at my work and they're like, wow, trust you me, when they look at any other thing that I do, they're always like, wow, you did it. And for me, it's just another pat on my shoulder, you know.
It may be that pat on your back, but it's also that is the evidence, the proof to them that you can do this job.
True
that you do have the knowledge, do have the grasp and the understanding, that you do have the capability, that physical capability, because this work is laborious. It demands physical labor and hard work. So, and it's always there. We are steering to a quick ad break. So for our listeners and our viewers, there's a lot more that can be said. And I've got a couple of other questions for the two ladies. Yeah, I'm going to push them into a corner a little bit now with the question that I'm going to shoot to them next. But before we get there, to our listeners and our viewers, please do stay tuned. We're going to cross over to a quick ad break. Stay tuned and have a listen and a look at these ad breaks because they are for your benefit. The three of us will be right back after this.
Good day. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm here to log in my COCs, but I seem to be having an issue with my computer.
No problem. But did you know that you can log your COCs using an app on your cell phone?
Oh, what app is that?
It's called the app Plumber. Do you have a smartphone with you?
Yes, I do.
Oh well, let me show you how it works.
Not only can you access your PRB profile on the app Plumber, but you can also earn CPD points while exploring the plumbing industry in the palm of your hand. Download the app from Google Play Store and join thousands of other happy users.
Welcome back to this exciting and technically orientated episode of the Professional Plumber Podcast, where I'm having a conversation with some women in plumbing, or lady plumbers, female plumbers for that matter. You know, it is always interesting to chat to ladies in plumbing, women in plumbing, because there are certain aspects that make people wonder and think, you know what, is this a place for women to be? Can women fit in here? Do they belong here? Can they actually do this job? Do they understand this job? And before we went into the ad break, we discussed things like why did you choose something technical? Why did you choose plumbing specifically? We discussed the technicality and having all of a sudden being made aware of how technical and complex plumbing really is, because it entails much more than just fitting two pipes together or unblocking a blocked drain or something like that. And we also spoke about that, how do the men in the industry perceive you? How do they accept you, treat you, and more so even when you're in a foreman position or a sort of a leadership position. But now here comes that burning question. This is the one that is the determining factor. All right, and I want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. That burning question is, can women do plumbing? And what it directs to is actually the following. It's not just, can you understand the complexity and the technical aspects thereof? This is the following thing, because women in general, you have lower bone density than when we have. In many instances, you are smaller than us. You just mentioned in one of your previous answers that you are shorter than most of the men that you encounter in your industry, in your trade. So how do you achieve the physical aspects of your work, the physical demanding work? How do you grind with that heavy grinding machine? How do you drill with that strong, powerful drill? How do you chip away a brick and mortar when you have to fix burst pipes in a wall? How do you tighten things? How do you even turn those drain rods? Because sometimes there are roots in those drain pipes and things like that, and it requires strength, and it's physically strength demanding. How do you ladies achieve that? Because I think that's one of the main things that everybody wants to know. How do you get into a roof up there when we're so much smaller than my whole peers?
Oh,
Safety first.
Go for it. Just let it out.
Safety first. For climbing up the roof, safety first. You have to put your harness first. You have to find the right ladder for you to go up there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But now, do you hook that harness up to the beams or?
I've never done that. I've never done that, but I've seen people doing that.
The ladies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And with
I was working with this one. She was my boss.
Ah.
Yes. So this other day, I saw her going up there. Oh, okay. She put all the harness. She climbed up there. She even took photos. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, she can do that.
But yet again, you have to understand, as a foreman, you need to make sure that each and every single thing is all right. You have to make sure that your work is proper.
Yeah.
And if I'm afraid of heights, how will I do that?
Yeah.
You see? And then, like she said, we're working together. I can tell you now that when it comes to chisel and hammer, like this one is the guy.
I saw you laughing when I asked that question when we got to that part. Because that's something that you have to take that chisel and you have to take a heavy hammer at
For
the
me,
end of
it was my deliberate. Honestly, it was my deliberate. I used to work with hammer and chisel every day.
Yeah?
From 7 to 4.
How did your shoulders feel at the end of the day?
I was used to that.
Oh.
I was used to that.
Okay.
There was someone, the person that I was working with, I think he gave me the best lesson. He used to teach me many things. I'm grateful for that. He taught me many things.
The tricks of the trade.
Yes. This other day I was so worried. He didn't come to work.
Oh.
I have to work with someone. I have to work with someone. Imagine. Now call someone that I must work with. And that lady, she was slower than me. Pella, I have to check, we have to get the work done by 4. That one, slow. I was like, relax. I will do it. Let me show how.
Let the one lady show the other lady how to do this.
For me, I was used to hammer and chisel. I used to enjoy that. She trusted me. I felt like she trusted me with that. She will come and show us the job that we have to do. Then after lunch, the job is done.
Look, if you have to compare the two of us, okay, I'm a man, I'm a typical man, and you're a lady, obviously smaller build than what I have.
Yes.
And just to hear you say that, you started doing it, you were taught how to do it. It doesn't matter by whom. The fact is that you were taught how to do it. And you now are not only used to it, you know how to do it, but you can do it. You achieve it. You successfully do those kind of aspects of the job. And certainly it must be the same for picking up heavy machinery and grinding, because that's also something physically demanding. That's something that requires strength, because you need to hold it in a specific, yes, you mentioned it, safety first with everything, but it's a heavy machine, and it can easily slip out of your hand. And you need to understand how to use that machine, but also need to understand how to use it safely. But the safety aspect to the side. Just that pure physical strength in holding it and being able to do that.
But it's funny because when we talk about physical activities, people always think that, oh, you are a woman, this and that. But now you have to remember that I can clean that house and shift those couch and shift everything in the house. I mean, like, us as women can do that. We shift everything in the house when we clean.
Heavy couches.
Heavy everything. And now when I go to work, now I'm used to that. Come on, heaviness. I mean, like, I can carry a 20-liter bucket of water. I mean, like, what are drain rods to me? Because I've done that. I know how physical demanding it can be. But yet again, it starts here.
Yeah.
It starts here. Us as women, we should learn to tell ourselves that we can do this. Because now, if I tell myself that I can't, I know I was in the apprenticeship, I would find other women, other ladies be like, oh no, I can't go there. It is too high. I do not like that. Like she said, you have to challenge yourself as a person that I will do this. Yeah. I can do this. I mean, like a hammer and chisel. I mean, like drilling machine. I love using. Trust me, I love using that. And then that gives you a say, because now if you're always going to be like, no, I can't do this as a woman in this industry, what are you saying to men? Because they're going to look at you like, obvious, you're a woman. You see? But now as a woman, we always have to work harder than any other person, harder than men. We have to put more effort, put each and every single day, you have to prove yourself, and not only to yourself, to the surrounding, because this is an industry for men.
For sure.
So it's always like that.
And it's slowly changing, right? That perception is slowly changing.
Slowly but surely.
And the doors are opening, and we are actually encouraging people, women out there, we're encouraging young school leavers, even if they are still in school, to say that this is a career. Look, there's so much unemployment in South Africa, in our country. And we said it at the beginning before we started recording. We said that plumbing will always be needed where civilization exists, where society exists. It will always be needed, right? And we're encouraging people, and especially women, to always look at this as a viable option, as a career option. Here's proof of two ladies who can achieve it. They've grasped the technical aspects and the complexity of plumbing. They understand it. They've grasped it. And now that's proof also that you can also handle and achieve the physical aspects and the strength demanding aspects of the work. I quickly we are rounding up now because we are drawing to a close of this episode, but one last question with a quick answer from the two of you. Just off by heart, if you can think of the most challenging part for you in your trade, in other words, the work that you do, as well as in your industry, the plumbing industry, just very briefly, please.
For myself, I believe that every industry has a challenge. And on those challenges, you have to overcome them. For myself, there's a lot of challenges in this industry as a woman, a lot of them. But you have to set in your mind that I have to achieve this. For me to get this, I have to do this. So for me, I do overcome those challenges by telling myself that I want to do this. I want to be there.
You've set your mind to it. This is the career that you've chosen.
That I want.
Whatever challenges you are facing within it, you just have to overcome them because this is the career path that you've chosen for yourself.
Yes. That's for myself.
Neo.
Oh, the challenge for you. Oh my goodness. The challenge that I always face as a leader, it is in the section of leadership in this industry, always having to prove that I can do this. It is difficult. It is not easy as a woman. I won't lie to you about that. It is not easy as me in a position of leadership as a woman, and every day having to meet new people who expect less of you.
Yes.
And each and every day I have to prove that I can do this, I can achieve this. And by doing that, and yet again, at the same time, I believe that they push me to become a better person, to become the person that I want to become, and to strive for bigger and better me, So yeah, that is the only challenge that I find. And yet again, I won't say that heavy stuff are a challenge to me. Those ones are minor,
A minor, you say?
Yeah, they can be at times, but yet again, being in this umbrella industry with men, for me, on its own, is a challenge.
One would certainly hope that at some point in time, because culture also have an effect and an impact thereon, that how men perceive women or how different sexes and genders, have a perception over each other. And one would hope that at some point in time, we reach a point where people generally have a mutual respect and accept the fact that, either one of the two can achieve what the other can. In some regards, there are certain things, but in general, for the most part, both parties can achieve the same thing. And so much more in the industry as well. I understand where you're coming from, where you say you constantly, as a woman, have to prove yourself so that you can not only gain that respect and the acceptance from your male peers, but also retain it. You have to keep it once you've gotten it, because now you constantly have to prove yourself.
True that.
And I can hear from that it is quite a challenge. It was just very interesting for me to hear how you said that the heavy stuff, that's a minor. Carrying the heavy stuff and doing the physical stuff, that's the least part of your worries, as it seems, right? And especially from you chiseling away, you said that was your daily bread. Listen, ladies, I want to thank you for having joined me for this episode. And it is always good to hear from the horse's mouth, from the people on the ground, the ladies, the women in the plumbing. Thank you for your time and your effort. Thank you for sharing this information with us and opening your hearts to us.
You're most
Thank
welcome.
you for having us here.
To our listeners and our viewers, that concludes the conversation between myself and my guests about the burning question, can women do plumbing? And I certainly believe that, from the answers that we've heard today, that the perception is busy changing, and the answer to that question is yes, women can do plumbing. Don't go away. Do stay tuned, because right after this, we are bringing you some awesome, interesting industry announcements. Stay tuned, but goodbye from us from now.
The Champions for Charity event of 2023 is finally over, and planning for the C4C 2024 event is already underway. The PRB thanks every sponsor, donor, contributor, and individual who bought a ticket to be part of this great cause. We could not have achieved success without you. A massive shout out also to all the boxers who participated. Thank you for fighting the good fight. You can still be part of this great cause by making donations to any or all of the nominated charity beneficiaries. Visit www.championsforcharity.co.za and scroll to the fighters' profiles, where you will find the donations buttons. The PRB's National Roadshow will be going to Eastern Cape next week. Come and interact with our representatives on Wednesday, the 16th of August at Build It in Kawe, Port Alfred. And on Thursday, the 17th of August, we will be at On Tap in Quebera. See you there. Download the App Plumber mobile application today, play the games on the Scratch and Win feature on the app, and stand a chance to win great prizes. Users each get 2 chances per day to scratch and win. The higher the tier of your CPD points, the grander the prize you stand to win. Download App Plumber today to access these rewarding games. And remember that you can book advertising space on any of the PIRB's video productions. Contact us at marketing@pirb.co.za or call us at 0861 747 275 to find out more about this awesome advertising opportunity. Last but certainly not least, a very happy Women's Day to every woman out there. The 9th of August celebrates the recognition of women and their achievements without regard to divisions, whether national, ethnic, linguistic, cultural, economic or political. We salute the mothers of our nation.